Imagine walking into a room full of people chasing success. Some are kind, they play fair, they work hard, stay honest, and follow the rules. Others lie. They manipulate, dominate, cheat, and yet, they are the ones climbing the ladder the fastest. We whisper about it, we joke about it. But deep down, we feel it. The world often rewards the worst among us. Why? Why do some of the most immoral, cruel, or power-hungry people rise to the top? In business, in politics, even in personal relationships, it's not just random. It's not just corruption. It's something deeper. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that success in this world doesn't always belong to the most virtuous. In fact, sometimes it belongs to those who reject traditional morality altogether. To understand why, we need to go back to one of Nietzsche's most controversial ideas, master morality versus slave morality. He didn't believe in universal morals. He believed that morality was a product of power struggles. Some morals are created by the powerful, the conquerors, the rule makers, the creators. Others are created by the powerless, those who suffer, obey, and survive. And each of these moral systems creates a different type of human being. The master creates his own values. The slave reacts to the world as a victim. One says, "I choose." The other says, "I endure." One says, "I choose." The other says, "I endure." Which of these two do you think society rewards? This video isn't about celebrating ruthlessness. It's not about becoming like them. It's about seeing the truth we're often too afraid to face. That power plays by different rules. And if we don't understand those rules, we're not resisting injustice. We're just being crushed by it. Nietzsche saw the world not through good versus evil, but through strength versus weakness. He believed that morality was born not from divine command, but from how people experienced power, or the lack of it. He called it master morality and slave morality. Master morality is created by the strong, those who define their own values. They don't ask for permission. They act, they conquer, they build. For them, what is good is what affirms life, power, creativity, pride, dominance, courage. Slave morality is born from the perspective of the oppressed. Those who have no power create a system that celebrates what they can access: humility, obedience, self-sacrifice, endurance. Where the master says, "I create value," the slave says, "I suffer, therefore I'm good." Nietzsche wasn't trying to mock morality. He was trying to expose how it evolves, how human beings shape their values based on their position in the power hierarchy. He believed that modern society was still shaped by these two opposing forces, and that often, people who rise to power do so because they embrace the bold, unapologetic drive of master morality. This doesn't mean you have to be cruel, but it does mean that if you live only by the rules of submission, you may never rise. Because the world, as Nietzsche saw it, doesn't reward weakness. It tolerates it, and only when it must. So, if we want to understand why the worst people succeed, we have to understand what kind of morality the world actually respects, not what it pretends to.
If what you've heard so far makes you pause, if you're starting to question the rules you've been told to follow, then don't let this just be another video. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready to think for yourself. Like this video if you believe the world needs more conscious minds. Comment below, "I choose courage over comfort." Let this be the moment you stop living by inherited beliefs and start thinking for yourself. You've met them before. The kind ones, the honest ones, the people who give, who wait their turn, who do everything right and still get left behind. It doesn't make sense. You work hard. You follow the rules, you treat people well, and yet someone else, louder, bolder, maybe even crueler, gets the promotion, the recognition, the win. It's not because you're weak, it's because you were told that playing fair is enough. But Nietzsche warned, the world does not reward virtue. It rewards effectiveness. The good person stays stuck, not because they lack talent, but because they expect the world to be moral, when it's really strategic. They keep waiting for fairness in a world built on advantage. They hope that patience will be noticed, that kindness will be reciprocated. But often, it isn't. Because many systems are not looking for virtue, they're looking for winners. And winners are often those who stop waiting for approval. The lesson isn't to become heartless, it's to stop expecting fairness from a world that was never designed to be fair. Your values still matter. But if you want to make impact, you need to pair your integrity with strategy. Think, act, and stop asking for permission to become powerful. It's not just about individual choices. Sometimes the entire game is rigged. Systems, whether political, corporate, or cultural, aren't always built to reward truth, kindness, or honesty. They're built to sustain themselves, to protect their own survival. And in those systems, the ones who rise are often those who don't question the rules. They exploit them. Why? Because people who follow the rules don't disrupt the system, but people who understand the rules can bend them, even rewrite them. That's why the ruthless succeed. They don't waste time asking, is this fair? They ask, how do I win? And the system likes that. Because what it really values is stability, not justice. In governments, companies, even schools, reward often goes not to the most ethical, but to the most effective. To those who deliver results, who move fast, who obey when needed and manipulate when possible. These systems don't necessarily want monsters, they just want predictability, control. And the ruthless, they know how to give them that. It's not that systems force people to be bad, they just create the kind of environment where being ruthless is more efficient than being good. And over time, those who play the game well rise higher than those who try to change the rules. Most people don't study power. They don't question how influence works. They don't want to understand manipulation, strategy, or control. Why? Because it's easier to believe the world is fair. It's more comfortable to assume that if you're a good person, good things will happen. But Nietzsche would say, that's a fantasy. The world isn't fair. It never was. And pretending that it is just leaves you vulnerable. The truth is this, power isn't evil. It's neutral. It's a tool. And those who understand it, use it. But those who ignore it, get used by it. Most people prefer to feel good than to think clearly. They believe stories that comfort them, rather than ideas that challenge them. They mistake politeness for virtue, and conformity for morality. But the ones who rise, the ones who lead, are the ones who learn the game and choose to play it consciously. This doesn't mean becoming corrupt. It means becoming aware. You can't win a game you refuse to admit you're in, and you'll never be free if you don't understand what's keeping you controlled. If the world rewards power, if kindness often gets overlooked, does that mean you have to become ruthless to succeed? That's the fear, right? That if you don't dominate, you'll be dominated. That if you don't lie, you'll be left behind. That goodness equals weakness. But Nietzsche didn't say, be a monster. He said, don't be a slave. There's a difference. You don't need to destroy others to rise, but you do need to stop betraying yourself. Stop shrinking your ambition to make others comfortable. Stop waiting for permission to act. Stop thinking morality means self-erasure, because it doesn't. True power isn't about stepping on people. It's about standing fully in who you are and refusing to abandon your voice just to fit in. The goal isn't to abandon morality, it's to own it. To choose your values consciously instead of blindly inheriting them. To play the game of life not like a victim, but like a creator. You don't have to become cold. You have to become clear. Clear about who you are, what you want, and what you're no longer willing to tolerate. That's not ruthlessness. That's maturity. That's strength. That's what Nietzsche meant by becoming powerful without becoming lost. If you've made it this far, you already feel it. There's a shift happening inside you. The world tells you to be quiet, be polite, fit in. But something deeper is calling. A voice that whispers, stop living on autopilot, start thinking like it matters. Because it does. Every day you're being shaped. By media, by culture, by silence. But you can choose to shape yourself instead. You can choose awareness over comfort, purpose over programming, truth over approval. That's not easy. It means walking alone sometimes. It means questioning everything, especially the things you were taught never to question. But that's the start of real freedom. True strength is not domination, it's direction. Knowing who you are and refusing to give your mind away just because it's easier. This isn't just a mindset, it's a rebellion. You become powerful not when you control others, but when you stop letting others control you. Nietzsche didn't want followers. He wanted people who would dare to think dangerously, to create new values in a world built on old lies. And that's your invitation now. Not to imitate power, but to become it. You are not here just to survive. You are here to see, to understand, to wake up. Nietzsche didn't write for the masses. He wrote for the few, the ones bold enough to question the world before trying to succeed in it. Because when you see clearly, you stop being controlled. You stop chasing borrowed goals. You stop living a script written by fear. Real power isn't loud. It's still. It's focused. It's built on awareness, not approval. And now, you have a choice. You can go back to comfort, to blind trust, to silence. Or you can go forward, into the unknown, with your eyes open, your mind active, and your values chosen by you. The world doesn't need more people playing along. It needs people who dare to question everything. So if this message stirred something inside you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to this channel. Like if you're done living on autopilot. Comment below, I choose awareness. Let's build a space for minds that want more. Not more noise, but more truth. Not more control, but more clarity. Because your mind isn't just a tool, it's a revolution. And you are its beginning.